something to lull you into a state of relaxation, entertainment, or sleep through ASMR. Now, I wanted to do a questions video, and I was browsing my drawer for something else, and I came across this. And this is called Perfect Match. It kind of looks like a match holder. And I suppose it's like something to do for couples. Honk if you're excited. So, I don't think I've used these. If I've used something similar, it was in one of my random roleplay videos in the very, very past. So, I had the idea, without picking a number of questions, even though there's 50 of these, we definitely won't get through them all, so hopefully I'll try to keep them in order so we can do this again if you enjoyed. Maybe we'll do 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'll just guesstimate, so I'll keep you on your toes. I'm not going to count. But basically, this is going to be like a Q&A for both of us. And this is like a multiple choice questions Q&A. And you're supposed to play with a couple. So you're supposed to ask your spouse, for example, what's the one thing I would save if the house was on fire? And it gives you options and you answer. Instead, we can't do that for each other. I'm going to read the question, give the list, so A, B, C, D. Sometimes they have different. They all seem to be A through D. Oh no, some of them are not, but. So, I'm going to give the options. I'm going to answer, and you're going to answer. All right. Should I try to keep track of the questions? Nah, forget it. You just tell me, okay? So, you can answer by simply leaving the letter in the comment section, and I'll read them. Or you can actually answer by saying the word. Like, for example, one of the answers could be my phone, and you could say my phone. It's up to you. But I thought we could play together, and this would be a good way for me to get to know you, and you to get to know me. So let's do a few of these, okay? We won't go crazy with them. But as I said, there's about 50 cards. So we'll see how many we can get through. So, since I already read it, what is the one thing I would save if the house was on fire? A, my phone. B, family photos. C, a childhood toy. Or D, something else. If so, what? So, what would you save if the house was on fire? A through D. I would personally save D, my dog. But if that was included, if it has to be something like material, then I suppose I would save like my hard drive with all of my photos and things like that. So definitely like family photos, something sentimental. Yeah, definitely. I think it would be something like that. What about you? I'll put this down. Next question. What would be my ideal vacation? A, an African safari. B, a road trip across America. C, an all-inclusive cruise. D, backpacking across Europe. What would you pick, A through D? I would personally pick D, backpacking across Europe. Hands down, hands down. Next question. What would I say is my most annoying habit? A, smoking. B, biting my nails. C, chewing my food too loudly. D, something else. If so, what? What would you say, A through D? If you're brave, I think you'll say D because it's something off the list. Personally, my most annoying habit would be picking at things. Like, I love to pick at like anything, like zits or spots. I love to pick out, like, I I was even peeling a little bit from tanning, and so I was just like peeling my skin. I just love to pick at things. I'm a picker. I even pick at food sometimes. I need like different flavors. So what about you? A through D. Next, who usually gets their own way? You, me, it's pretty equal. This is a thing for us. So let's say in our relationships, who usually gets their way? I would say it's pretty equal, but they say happy wife, happy life for a reason. Next, what drink am I most likely to order at the bar? A bottle of beer. B, a glass of wine. C, a shot of something hard. Or D, a fruity cocktail. If you drink, of course. If you don't drink, you can skip this one, of course. But I would say that I would probably at a bar order not like a fruity cocktail that's like so fruity, like not like a, anything intense, but probably at a bar scene, either that or like a glass of wine or champagne or prosecco or what have you. So probably D or B. What about you? I'm not a beer drinker. Next, where did we have our first kiss? Okay, so let's say, where did you and I, when we had our first kiss, if we did, some of you might be young or you just haven't had a kiss yet, and that's fine. But if you haven't had a kiss, you can think of an ideal setting between these. And if you have had a kiss, where was your first kiss? A, at a party. B, in a car. C, outside my door. D, somewhere else. If so, where? Mine would be D. And I think I was 14 at the time. And it was with this guy who really liked me. And I liked him too, of course. He was 3 years older than me. And they were from, we would rent a cottage. So he was one of the cottage boys. And my gosh, was this before? I'm not really remembering. Was this in my childhood bedroom? I think this was in my house before my parents even got a divorce. So I had no rules at the time, I guess you can say. So it was in my bed, but it was not it was a kiss. It was a good first make-out kiss. And when I told him after that he was my first kiss, he didn't believe me. Maybe I'm a good kisser. What about you? Next. What do I spend most of my money on? A, traveling. B, clothes. C, restaurants and bars. Or D, something else. If so, what? Oh, what would you say? I would say definitely my personal money. I spend a lot of it on food and clothes. Traveling and experiences. That definitely. For sure, I would spend a lot of it on, I don't know, maybe all of them. It's just thinking about the time when I couldn't travel as much, I would spend it on food. And then before traveling, you want to buy some new clothes, and then traveling, of course, it's expensive, so you spend money. What about you? Next question. I think the gifts should have been in there, and I do spend a lot of money on others, I would say as well. So, do I prefer tea or coffee? A, tea. D, coffee. C, something else. I love tea and coffee, but if I had to choose, it would definitely be coffee because I have to have coffee every day, at least once a day. Lately, I've been having it twice a day. I'll have my morning coffee, and then I'll have my pick-me-up afternoon coffee. Next. Who has the most control over the TV remote? A, you, me. Sorry. A, you, B, me, C. It's pretty equal. So this would be in a family or a relationship setting. I would say it's pretty equal. I don't even like to have control of the remote because I like to browse with my fiance, and I like to have him browse, and I like to be like, oh, what was that? Oh, stop, what was that? So it's not really me, but I still have a say. Next, what is more important to me in a partner? Looks, brains, or a sense of humor? Well, they give you the options and then they ask you the options. It looks like this. A, looks, B, brains, C, sense of humor. I would say that what attracts me to someone, of course, instantly you have to have a physical attraction to somebody in order to even be interested. There has to be something. But I find that if you have a good sense of humor, that's so attractive. And then if you have brains on top of that, if you're an intelligent person, that's very attractive. So what is more important to me? I'm talking about attraction. What is more important? I would say I'm the funny one in a relationship, and I like to have humor that resonates with me. But now I think I would actually say brains in my older age. Before it was always humor, but now I would have to say brains. Looks is definitely last. Definitely. Next question. What's my favorite kind of takeout? I feel like I should take advantage of tapping the cards, but I'm excited to answer the question, so I'll put it down. What's my favorite kind of takeout? A, pizza. B, Chinese. C, Indian. Or D, fried chicken. Oh, it depends on the mood, honestly. It depends on the mood. And they don't even give the option of Mexican or like Tex-Mex. I suppose you can say the more like Americanized Mexican food, but I love that. Love a good pizza. Takeout pizza is definitely more like a greasy pizza. They're all so good, but I would probably say even Chinese. I love a good Chinese takeout or pizza, so probably A or B for me. What about you? I just love food, so that's pretty hard to say. Okay. Next. What one thing could I not live without if I were stranded on a deserted island? A, my phone. B, my hair products. Who would say that? C, a 6-pack of beer. D, something else. If so, what? What are these options? They're horrible. First of all, your phone. It would be of no use on a deserted island. You wouldn't even be able to charge it. I guess they're saying, like, what would you miss? Of course I would miss my phone. But I couldn't technically bring it. Hair products, who cares? A pack of beer, what? D, something else, if so, what? I think I would say company. I couldn't live without company. I couldn't be by myself. How could I survive on my own? Next, what's my favorite flavor of ice cream? A, vanilla. B, chocolate. C, cookie dough. D, something else, if so, what? Ooh. Just talking about ice cream and not gelato, because there's a difference, definitely. I would say cookie dough. I love cookie dough. Or anything like with like brownie bits and cookie dough, like half baked from Ben and Jerry's is so good. It's just sometimes I like to say I like a little bit of ice cream with all of my toppings because I just want to eat like chunks of cookie dough with like a tiny bit of ice cream. But when it comes to gelato, a gelato is like such a pure experience. I like the creamy flavors like pistachio, nocciola. I like even like cioccolato arancia, cioccolato fondente, very rich, zappaglione, pistachio, hazelnut, orange chocolate. Zappaglione is hard to explain, but yeah, that's my answer. Next question. Who is the more adventurous one? A, you. B, me. C, it's pretty equal. So if you were to say in a relationship who's the more adventurous one, I would say probably maybe me. Maybe in this relationship it might be me. I don't know, because I'm always down for travel and an adventure, but it's hard to say. I think it's pretty equal, to be honest. Next, What one thing about my body would I most like to change? Ooh, this would get couples fighting. A, my hair. B, my teeth. C, my figure. D, nothing. E, something else. If so, what? So they gave the answer for the partner to say nothing, sweetie, you're beautiful the way you are. But definitely, I think I would literally not change, but I think I would upgrade everything if I could. I would like to have thicker hair, more hair. Teeth, actually my teeth are the one thing that I don't mind because I never had to have braces or anything, didn't do anything to my teeth, but my bottom ones could be straighter, so maybe even a retainer. See my figure. What woman on earth or human is 100% happy with their body? There's always something that could be changed. It's so ridiculous to be this way, but I think it's just the truth. I would definitely change a lot of things. But you know what? It's funny because coming to be my age, you kind of just accept things. Like there's some things that can bother you, like your nose, your weight, your stomach, your chest size, your anything can bother someone. Your butt, who knows? But I'm saying, as you get older, you kind of just get more comfortable in your skin. I think it's a lot easier to love yourself as you grow into yourself. I think so. I hope everyone feels that way and doesn't let social media or the pressures of people doing all these upgrades influence you. You're beautiful the way you are, and you don't need anything. You don't need anything. Nothing. You don't need to fill yourself up or stuff yourself or lose weight, or you don't need to do anything. You're great the way you are. Now, if you want to improve upon yourself because you want to be in better health, that's a totally different story. But for vanity's sake, we're all made to be beautiful humans, and you're beautiful. Next. What type of music am I most likely to turn off if I hear it on the radio? I already know. A, rap. B, country. C, heavy metal. D, something else. If so, what? I feel like a lot of people don't like country. I myself don't, but a lot of people do. And I've gotten flack for saying that I don't like country music. And even though I don't like country music, there will still be a country song or two that I enjoy, believe me. I'm pretty open-minded. You might think I would say heavy metal, but that's not true. I actually enjoy rock music. Like growing up, I would actually listen to a lot of rock bands. So for me, it's like more nostalgic, and even rap, I enjoy everything. So probably country music. Sorry. Next question. What was the first animal I had as a pet? A, a dog. B, a cat. C, a fish. D, something else. If so, what? The interesting thing is, I feel like my first pet was D, a turtle. For a brief period of time, we had a turtle, a little guy, and I'm pretty sure that was the first pet even before a fish. I also had a fish as well, but we had a little turtle, and I think my uncle ended up setting him free. I don't know how I ended up with a turtle, but since I was a kid, I would beg my parents, please, I want a dog, I want a dog, I want a dog. And we even had a cat before we had a dog, but all the cats we ended up giving away. Not to anyone like bad per se, but like we never kept our family cats. We had one for like a day, and then we gave it to my aunt because it was the cat's brother, so she wanted to keep them together. Then we had another beautiful, beautiful Persian cat, and we gave it to this guy who was like a family friend, and this cat lived so long with this person. And in reality, we were kids. Like my younger sister would probably play with the cat and bother it. So all the animals went to really good homes, if not for us, but we've never given away a dog or anything like that. We've always loved and kept our family dogs. We're just not cat people, I guess, but cats are super cool and beautiful. It just ended up happening that way. I don't know why. Not sure. Who is better in a time of crisis? A, you. B, me, C, it's pretty equal. If I had to go based on my relationship, I would say I am better in a crisis. For most people in my family, I think I would be better than most of them in terms of a crisis because you know how it's like fight or flight? I even make fun of my sister because she's flight. If something happens, whoosh, out the door, but me. I'm very like hands-on and reactive. Sometimes I won't even have a reaction because I'm so focused on like getting things done. Next, what is my favorite pizza topping? A, pepperoni. Pepperoni in Italy would be peppers, so it wouldn't even be the salami that we would put on the pizza. B, ham and pineapple. That is so controversial. You cannot tell an Italian person to put pineapple on their pizza. I'm not saying I agree with that, but that's controversial. C, something vegetarian. D, something else. If so, what? When I want a greasy pizza, like from takeout, a classic pepperoni pizza is like the way to go. But if I'm getting a pizza, like typically, if I were in Italy getting a pizza, I really like either a simple margherita pizza with just the red sauce, cheese, and basil, or I like the white pizzas that maybe have like potato on them and like ham and like a creamy, cheesy stracciatella, something delicious on top. So that would be my favorite topping. Next. What would I say is my best personality trait? A, sense of humor. B, creativity. C, generosity. D, something else. If so, what? What would yours be? A through D, I wonder. I would say it's probably my sense of humor because in terms of, I don't know, I'm very creative and that's nice too. I can definitely be generous. I'm sure I have other traits, but my sense of humor probably is my best personality trait. Although, being an introvert, not everyone always gets to see that, so that's interesting. Very interesting. We still have more to go before we're halfway through. Yeah, so I thought I would maybe do them all, but I don't think I can. What is my biggest fear? A, spiders. B, the dark. C, clowns. D, something else. If so, what? I'm gonna go with my biggest fear in terms of like, not like dying alone or something very, existentially dramatic, but like a typical fear. And I would say I'm claustrophobic. So I'm okay. It's not like I will go in a small space and have a panic attack, but I don't like the idea of being in a small space. Like, I think I've said this before, of course. It's hard not to repeat yourself when you talk for hours and hours online, but I think that if I had to be in a submarine underwater, I would feel very claustrophobic because you're like in a small area in the water. So that would just be like the ultimate for me. Or like deep in a cave somewhere, like, I don't know. But I would still perhaps do it. I just wouldn't feel very comfortable. So that's probably my biggest typical fear. What about you? Next, what is my favorite way to exercise? A, going for a run. B, lifting weights. C, swimming. D, something else. If so, what? I would say going for a walk. My sister and I go for, even my fiance as well, he'll come after, but my sister and I go for at least 2 walks a day together. One, usually just us two, and then the next one, us two with our significant others. We aim to do 2 walks a day, so typically I'll walk like, I suppose, at least 10K a day. 10K. I aim to do 10,000 steps, but 10K is more usually, but 10K a day lately in the summertime when I can, and it's not freezing in Canada is typically what I do. So I would say I'm a very walking person. I love to go for walks. Next, what did we do for our first date? A, dinner and a movie. B, drinks at a bar. C, picnic. D, something else. If so, what? So I'll answer just my first date with my fiance. We did dinner because we met online, and we did dinner at this very nice restaurant he And then afterwards we went to another little restaurant and we had drinks and we walked around, and I actually kissed him on the first date because we spoke for almost a month beforehand. So we just knew that when we saw each other, we just knew that we would just love each other, and that's it. I can see that my battery's dying and I think we're almost 50% of the way there. So I've answered at least 25. Let's do another one. What is my least favorite household chore? A, washing the dishes. B, vacuuming. C, dusting. D, something else. If so, what? I hate them all. I think, honestly, I hate laundry. It's not as bad as vacuuming, I suppose, but I honestly hate folding and putting away laundry is the worst. Doing laundry is easy because we have the washing machine and the dryer in Canada. I understand in other countries it's not as easy, but putting it away is so annoying. So maybe D, maybe the laundry. What about you? And finally, to end on a positive note, because I just see this one on top, what would I say is my best physical feature? A, my hair. B, my skin. C, my figure. D, my eyes. E, something else. If so, what? I was drawing a blank because I was imagining them. So I would probably say D, my eyes. Yeah, maybe my eyes, I suppose, out of that. What would you say is your best physical feature? I wonder. A through E, and you have to say something good about yourself because I think I had you saying something bad. So all the questions that I have yet to answer, I'm going to put in this little strip. And then the ones that we did answer, I'm just going to leave out. I'm going to try not to confuse them. Maybe I should do them back to back. Oh, that's probably a better idea. Smart. I don't know why that would be a better idea, but so all the questions I have yet to answer. Actually, I even have this paper divider. I'm just going to pop that in between as well. So we will answer the next half at a later stage in my life. But I suppose this was a fun way for us to get to know each other, for you to get to know me, and for me to get to know you. And also, I suppose, to celebrate 15K. Because I think this was a cute idea to just get to know each other and to celebrate. So I appreciate you all so much, and I'm so happy to spend time with you. And I'm happy for your subscriptions and your comments and your likes and everything. You're just honestly the best community. You're the best. You watching, you're the best. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this fun multiple choice Q&A, I guess you can say, for us to get to know each other so we both can answer. I would appreciate knowing your answers. If maybe as opposed to writing the letter, if you can write the word, that would probably help me so that I just remember contextually what I asked you. That way I can really get to know you. But thank you so much for being here with me today and for getting to know me a little bit